Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Macon-Bibb County Pre-Commission meeting. Today is February 17th. The time is now 4:30. We'll have to go ahead and call this meeting to order. As you can tell, my voice has left me. So I'm going to have Ms. Ross read the information. I'll still manage the meeting. So first of all, we got to call this meeting to order. And second, we're going to do the approval of the minutes. So, Ms. Ross.
Approval of the minutes from the...
Catch your mic on.
You. Approval of the minutes from the February 3rd, 2026 pre-commission meeting.
I get a motion to approve. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Wynn. We have a second. Second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries to be sent to consent agenda.
An ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize the appointment of the Chief Information Officer of Macon-Bibb County.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a recommendation for the Chief Information Officer. You've already received all the information, and we've personally interviewed her along with you. This time, we entertain a motion to approve. We have a second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. She's here, I know. If you stand up, please. You recognize. I did that because Ms. Lucas is here, and she would always make you come down and tell something about yourself and personalize it. Our biggest, what I will say is we cast a very wide net across not only the United States, but across the world, and we had a lot of applicants, thanks to the help of the Knight Foundation, who gave us money to do a national search and to help vet that process. She stood way ahead of everybody else. Certainly, we think she's the most qualified, and she'll do a good job taking care of Macon-Bibb County, and for that reason, we were bringing her here. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion? We already did that?
Yes, we did.
All right. Passed unanimously. She is starting to work today or tomorrow? Today?
She said,
You want to hear from her again? Okay. She just left.
there she goes.
Just, yeah, she's already getting to work. She's getting to work. Thank you. All right, we appreciate that.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Signature Tennis Courts in the amount of $102,631 for the resurfacing and repair of pickleball courts at Tacknell Pickleball Center to be paid from the SPLOST 2018 Fund, Recreation, JDS Tennis, property line item.
Commissioner Bronson's asked to co-sponsor that, so I'll let you make that motion, sir. Do we have a second? Got a second by Commissioner Stewart. We got a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously to be sent to the consent agenda.
A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to approve a change order in the amount of $60,000 to the purchase order for A1 monitoring to be paid from the sponsored programs Macon Violence Prevention, Contract Labor, Contractual Service line item.
Thank you. Commissioner Cato, you have a question?
Yes. So what is this $60,000? Is it being moved? The money is already presented to them, and they're just moving the money, or is this in addition to what they've already gotten?
This is in addition.
Okay.
This is based on a monthly contract that we have with them, so we don't ever know how many people are going to get let out on electronic monitoring and how long they're going to stay out. So this is adding it to the budget from last year, and we should be able to put it in the budget for this next upcoming year.
Okay, and how long is this $60,000 gonna be good? Like, how much are they using a month?
About $10,000 a month.
10,000. So is this gonna be for a year contract?
This is going to get us through until the budget time.
And that's July?
Yes.
Okay, so how much are they charging for the anchor monitors? Because if 60 people got out on anchor monitors and this is 60,000, is that,
No.
how much?
$7, roughly $7, I believe, is the base salary for those ankle monitors. It goes up a little bit depending on what type of monitoring the judge wants to have, and the alcohol sensors are more.
Okay, so it's including So everything that's included is the monitoring, the alcohol censoring, and what else?
Whether it's just a home system or whether it's a tracking system.
Tracking system? And who's tracking? Who's tracking them? I'm sorry.
The only company that's certified in Macon-Bibb County to do that with the sheriff's office. That
Is
we
that-
approved the contract before already.
A1 monitor, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And one more last question. Are they tracking them supposedly 24 hours or?
There's no supposedly to it. If the court orders that, they track them all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, we just set an amount in our budget at the time, not realizing how many people would be able to take advantage of that. And now the money's, run out a little bit. So in order to do a change order, we have to bring this before you. And we kind of gave an average to get us through July. Okay? Yeah. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Bailey. Have a second? Second by Commissioner Cato. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. We sent consent agenda.
An ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute an amendment to the construction manager at risk agreement with Chris R. Sheridan and Company for additional renovations to the Macon City Auditorium in the amount of $2,181,395 to authorize the appropriation of $2,750,000 from 2018 SPLOST interest to 2018 SPLOST auditorium property to provide funding for the improvements provided for herein.
Commissioner Howell has asked to be a co-sponsor of that, so I'll let you make that motion, sir. A motion by Commissioner Howell. Have a second? Second by Commissioner
Bronson.
Bronson. Commissioner Wynn, do you have a question? Sure.
Okay.
Commissioner Cato?
Once again, I know they set aside money for the auditorium. Is this in addition to what they have, and what are the newer renovations that they're doing
Yeah, can I bring
from
somebody
the
up?
last time?
We got Clay Murphy here, SPLOST coordinator. He'll tell you all the information. I believe it's including your packet too, but no, he'll clear it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
The renovations will include a final amount of work at the auditorium. This will be the main corridor on the main floor, top to bottom. Take care of all the plaster, wall coverings, the flooring, the granite that's missing. It will also install restrooms in the corners on the main floor. Right now, the only restroom on that floor is a family restroom, and there's a handicap restroom. So this will provide for men's and women's separate restrooms. I think it's 6 stalls per men's and women's. So what we'll do is we'll kind of follow the facade of the building, put a material outside so it'll look like it's part of the original part of the building. But this should complete. We've also set a money aside. The OV group who manages it have asked for some funds to replace the in-house sound system and the lighting system. They are dated. They are not efficient. They don't work half the time. So some of that money, the $2,750,000, will be used to buy a new sound system and lighting system there.
It's been a long day, sir. I get you. Just out of curiosity, and forgive me. So, hypothetically speaking, if we wanted to name the auditorium after someone after all the renovation is done, is there any pot of money that we need to say, hey, we wanted to put this aside for that, or can this come out of that pot if we did it? Just out of curiosity, I'm just asking.
I don't think it's the amount of money you have to worry about. It's what you want to name it. So if you want to jump through those hoops, feel free to start that process.
All right, I got my jump rope. Cool beans. Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Howell?
Yeah, Clay, I just want to say personal thank you for this. When the SPLOST first came up, and actually before we took office, they were starting to do the renovation and talking about what they were going to do. And then when we got through, I realized that there was no restrooms on the main floor. And having a wife that's handicapped and knowing that it was just one thing on the main floor, it's just hard for me to believe at 100 years people have either had to walk downstairs or whatever to use the restroom. So this would be a great improvement, I think, for citizens at large, and especially those with handicap issues and mobility issues. So I really appreciate it.
Let me say real quick, we've just finished the last phase over there, which included putting in an elevator that gets you down to the, I'm gonna call it the snack bar area where the restrooms are. We've not had an elevator in that facility. So now we've got a handicap access elevator, but we've done everything from, repairs to the roof to new roof, all the way down through the basement heating and cooling. I mean, everything. So that building had not been renovated since the early 70s. So, 50 years later, we're gonna renovate it again, and maybe it'll be good for another 50.
Mr. Mayor, I had a question.
Mr. Stewart?
Yeah. Mr. Murphy, listen, I want to piggyback on what Commissioner Howell said, first starting with a thank you for all you're doing. And I did notice that I was at the All That Jazz just a few weeks ago. Thankfully, I don't have to use, handicap accessible, but I think about people who do. And so I appreciate the new elevator being in there. And to piggyback on that, we do need to make sure that we're always thinking about those individuals who are handicapped. So
Just realize, and I mean, you'll see it because you've seen it for 100 years like it is.
Right.
This will change slightly the exterior of the building,
right.
But we're going to build it such that it blends in really well with the exterior there.
okay,
So.
thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bebby?
Yes, and Mr. Murphy, thank you as well on behalf of the citizens here in Bibb County. And my granddaughter would love to see that elevator redone. In fact, she almost did not make it to my certification when I was certified as a county commissioner during that time. She wanted to walk all the way around the building to get in, so thank you. On those elevators, will it also include not only handicap accessibility, but markings for those that are visually impaired?
By law, we have to put those markings on there, but the elevator will go from the main corridor just to the basement. That's the only place it goes. There is no provision, and there's no way to get handicapped individuals to the balcony.
Okay.
I mean, you can't do it. The balcony walking area behind the seats is not wide enough to handle any type of wheelchairs or walkers or anything like that. So this just gets you from the main floor to the basement.
To the basement.
Concessions, those types of things down there.
Okay. Now, for those that are visually impaired, okay, we're going to have the signage, but will you also have, voice?
I don't think there's voice. That's not required because it's a one-stop elevator. So it just goes one floor. So it'll ding at when the door opens. It'll ding when it hits the floor it's going to, and it'll ding there. But it won't be a voice that'll say first floor or second floor.
Can we do that? And the reason I ask that is because we have a large population here in Macon-Bibb County that are blind, and these individuals, they do attend many of the programs that we do have, and I definitely want them to have, the ability to move wherever they want to go and to feel free and to feel that, we're taking care of them as well.
I'll look into it, Commissioner. I don't know that this elevator can be modified at this point. Again, the state fire marshal requires us to put indicators when the cab arrives at its destinations with a light and a bell, for lack of a better word, and it does have those, but it will not say first floor or second floor because it's only a one stop. If you get on the elevator, it's only going one place. It's not like it's going to say second floor, third floor, fourth floor. So like I said, it's only one. I'll look into it. That's all I can promise you.
Yes. Well, I have a father that's also blind, and when you are blind, what's around you is hard to determine. You may not know that you're even on the first floor.
I
This
understand.
is the elevator, but as far as knowing where that elevator is and where it's going, I mean, you have to have signage in order for them to know just where the orientation point actually is.
Braille
And it's a
signage
good
is
thing.
included.
It's a good thing. And as seeing people, we take that for granted when we come into a place because we've already been orientated when we walk into it. But if someone is not sighted, that person has to be orientated when they first get into the building or when they, decide to move from place to place. They have to have an orientation so they know that, okay, I'm on the second floor and I'm trying to go to the first floor. I'm on the first floor and I'm trying to go to the second floor. Now, inside, of the outer rim of the elevator, there's braille that's required to go right there. Now, that is a good thing as well. But I tell you, my dad, he's an old guy, and he's taken a look at some of those markings, and many times those markings don't have the standard marking that comes in the Braille manuals. And my dad kind of asked me to ask you about that, and that the voice is very important. If it could just say, just like Atlanta does, when you get on the elevator, first floor, second floor, we're here.
I'll look into it. I don't know if this one can be modified that way, but it did just pass state inspection, so we meet all requirements to have an operating elevator in that facility.
Thank you, Commissioner Bailey. Appreciate it, Mr. Murphy. We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously to be sent to consent agenda.
An ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to approve a supplemental appropriation from general fund balance in the total amount of $22,000 to the probate court contract labor contractual services line item.
Get a motion to approve. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen, second by Commissioner Wilder. All those got a question, Ms. Cato?
Co-sponsor.
Co-sponsor, okay. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries and be sent to consent agenda. We're now going to move into executive session. We get a motion to move into executive session with consultation with the county attorney or other legal counsel to discuss pending or potential litigation, settlement claims, administrative proceedings, and all other judicial actions by law. A motion, can I get a second? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. We're now in executive session. I get a motion to come out of executive session? All right, got a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. We're now at executive session. We have one item left on the agenda. This is the alcohol beverage license. Clerk, if you want to read that. It's the final recommendation of the Committee of the Hole's alcohol license to deny recommendation for Lanita Hunt, owner of 478 Lounge LLC. We'll have council come up here. You've got up to 10 minutes. Mayor Ricker, good to see you again, sir. I should have your microphone on there, and we'll put you on timer. 10 minutes, max.
I'm gonna mess Chris up. He turned this around in preparation, so I'm gonna mess him up just a little bit. Thank you very much, Mayor. I appreciate the time that you're giving me this afternoon. I also want to thank the mayor and commission for the process that brought us here and allows for due process in the licensing and permitting of an alcohol for sale establishment. I have represented Ms. Hunt in a civil proceeding with her former business partner, so I have some special knowledge concerning this. And a little bit of background, a very little bit of background, would be to say that Ms. Hunt bought into an existing business, Rodeo 24 Bar and Grill, out on Pinona Avenue. It was a duplex. There was a event center in 2/3 of the building and the bar and grill in 1/3. And shortly after she bought into the business and was operating it, there was an incident involving her business partner, Regina Smith, that prohibited Ms. Smith from being in the bar during business hours. And so there was an agreement where Regina Smith would operate the event center next door. And it's about 8,000 square feet, where Ms. Hunt would operate the bar and grill, which is about 4,000 square feet. So that worked for a while. Unfortunately, there was an incident, multiple incidents, in fact, and there's a dispute as to whether the incident started in the event center, which was out of the control of Ms. Hunt, and over which she had no authority, or where the event. But one thing that they could all agree on, however, was there was a tragic incident in 2022, a drive-by shooting, and somebody shot through the doors of the bar and grill, and the security guard inside was hit by one of the bullets and subsequently died. So it was a drive-by shooting, but the security guard died. That brought on a sheriff's investigation, and they found out, unfortunately, that the recording systems, the cameras in the bar were operating, but not recording so that you could capture previous images. So that was not known by Ms. Hunt, that it wasn't capable of retrieving, but nevertheless, that did not meet up to the expectations of the code, having an operating system that can retrieve images from prior events. Based on that, there was a threat of revoking the license for failure to have an operating camera system that could retrieve the images. But rather than go through the revocation process, Ms. Hunt voluntarily surrendered her alcohol license. The circumstances were documented in an agreement, the turning in the license, that Michael McNeil prepared and was witnessed and notarized. It included this language: I understand that by voluntarily surrendering, I will not be subject to the ban from obtaining future alcohol licenses, but that I will still be required to meet all necessary qualifications in order to receive a new alcohol license for any business in the future. 3 years go by since the time of the shooting and the revocation or the surrender of the alcohol license. She severs the business relationship she had with her former partner, got nothing to do with that, went across town to Sherling Drive in Sherling Plaza and applied, got a lease agreement applied for a new alcohol license at Shirling Plaza in her name there, doing business as the 478 Lounge. The temporary license was granted. She opened for business. She's got a 5-year lease. But the permanent license came before the commission a couple of months later. And because of some concerns about the history, et cetera, the commission decided not to issue the permanent license, alcohol license, and to revoke the temporary license, essentially putting her out of business. She took advantage of the appeal process. And so she went to Judge Crystal Jones. There's a transcript of evidence that was received by Crystal Jones and her findings of fact that were submitted basically to the attorney, and the attorney has prepared for you kind of a Cliff Notes version of that, so that you don't have to read the whole transcript, you don't have to read the findings of fact. You have to just read the summary, but I would like to read just in part, because of my time, I'll just read in part this last little bit that says, in this case, the full findings of fact attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference as Exhibit B are relevant to the Commission's determination of whether or not to deny Ms. Hunt's application based on whether doing so is in the public interest, as they contain facts that weigh in favor of and against denying the license alcohol. And then in final recommendation, the attorney's recommendation is this: in light of the special master's finding of there are sufficient grounds for the commission to deny the alcohol license for 478 Lounge based upon Ms. Hunt's history of conducting an alcohol-related business in violation of county ordinances without the proper camera system, right, pursuant to the Code of Ordinances. Then this paragraph, however, I love paragraphs that start with however. However, in light of the findings of fact, there are also mitigating factors that the commission can take into consideration in deciding whether or not to grant Ms. Hunt's license for 478 Lounge in Shirling Plaza, including that 3 years have passed since the time of the shooting at Rodeo Bar and Grill, and Ms. Hunt's application for an alcohol license for 478 Lounge in Shirling Drive. And incidents that the sheriff reported regarding Rodeo Bar may have actually transpired at the neighboring Rodeo Event Center, which I told you, over which she had absolutely no control whatsoever, which used the same address in its advertising, that leading to the confusion. Ms. Hunt thought that by voluntarily surrendering her license, she would not be subject to a ban from obtaining future alcohol license. And that Ms. Hunt entered into a 5-year lease agreement for the 478 Lounge, which she is still paying rent on to this day, although she's been out of business since her temporary license was revoked because the commission said that we're not going to issue a permanent license. She is here, and I'll ask Ms. Hunt to please stand for you. Will you please stand? She's here to ask for your second thought on this and consider. She's got a state-of-the-art camera system in her new location that not just records, but you can retrieve prior filming. She is most concerned about the safety of her patrons and people in the general vicinity. And since she has been there, there have been no incidents at all, even while she had a temporary alcohol license and was doing business there. No incidents whatsoever. So she's here to ask for a second consideration, and I hope you will give her your favorable consideration and vote to issue her permanent alcohol license for the new location in Shirling Plaza. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate the time you've given me, and thank you, members of the commission.
Thank you, Mr. Rickert. Commissioner Stewart.
For your presentation. Ms. Hunt, I believe in being brutally upfront. As you know, I normally vote, and I always try to explain why I vote as I do. And I'm going to vote in favor of asking that you get your license tonight. Normally, I vote no when it comes to alcohol licenses going to places like Vice Marts. because I think many of our communities are just inundated with these vice marts. I give an example for a few weeks ago, is that one on Montpelier Avenue. Took a person home, the place was locked. And it was locked because the people were paying out cash for the illegal gambling machines. So I always vote no on those things like that. When it comes to commercial things, larger commercial things, I try to vote yes, you know. My constituents have called me, you know, both pros and cons. And some don't want you to have that license on Shoreline Drive. Others think that you should have the opportunity to have it on Shoreline Drive. That outweighs right now, based on the number of calls I've gotten, because I've got a lot of calls about it. But most of them want you to have that license on Shoreline Drive. But I will have to say this, we're gonna have to watch it real close, because we know the amount of violence right now in our city overall. And so I implore you, as a business owner, as a citizen overall, to make sure that that business is really cognizant of the idea that we can't tolerate another shooting, another killing. So I ask you for that. And having said that, I ask you, Mr. Mayor, that we make a motion that we approve the license for Ms. Lenita Hunt at this time.
Yes, sir, I'll set that as a motion. Is there a second? I'll take that as a motion. Is there a second to Mr. Stewart's motion?
Approve the issuance of the license. And then you can debate it more. Yeah.
The motion is that we approve her license at this time.
And then you can have,
Okay, we have a second by Commissioner Cato. All right, now we'll have Commissioner Cato. You have something to say?
Yes, Mayor, in recognizing.
Ms. Cato, I'm sorry. I got her first, Brenda.
She go ahead. She can go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Bailey.
In recognizing your dedication to be an owner of your business and standing by you and your business, we have a fiduciary responsibility that comes first to our citizens of Macon-Bibb. And it is very hurtful for us when we have so many lives that are being lost. And then of forgetfulness, like a camera that's not working, or a camera that's there that's not doing what it should be able to do, that says that the owners are not being responsible and are not being responsible to our citizens to make sure that their instruments are doing what they need to do to protect our citizens. And for me as a citizen, that tells me that as a county commissioner, that it is time to draw the line somewhere. And in neglect, that's where I draw the line. And if you are given this license back, I would just personally like to ask that you think first of our citizens and first of the lives that can be lost if you don't take the responsibility to check and make sure that your equipment is working in the way that it should be working, that you be responsible enough with the city of Macon, with our citizens, that you are maintaining an area that's indicative of an environment which they can come to and enjoy themselves without fear in their hearts. This is a big thing. And as the beginning of enforcement, as commissioners on this council, we take every life very, very, very responsibly when that life is lost in a needless way. And this is what we're going through. And so, you know, I'd like to hear from you. How do you feel about what has happened?
Commissioner Bailey, yeah.
Is
I
the
appreciate
motion
you-
on the floor?
Appreciate your comments. We're going to stay with
Okay.
protocol. Commissioner Cato?
Can I ask how many people are here in favor of her or against her? So everybody's here for something else?
They're here on a presentation.
Okay. So for me, I'm gonna say, when y'all talk about the address, that used to be my area. So if you didn't know, I'm prior law enforcement, and that was my area. Those calls, some of those calls came from your business, because when they gave me the address, I knew it automatically. And if it was somebody that you were in partner with, for me, you gotta check your people. If I'm in business with him and he's not doing what he needs to do, I'm gonna check him because he's my business partner, and what he does affects me. Um, I'm gonna approve it only because I feel like sometimes people get in business and they don't know the total responsibility of what everything's entails. They want to say, okay, it's going to run like this, and it doesn't, because you got to have people every step of the way to make sure they're there for you with your business. And some of the stipulations that already may be in the paperwork was for me, like they say, the operating camera systems that record, and no outside loitering. And these are things that I would be saying if I rode by, I would look for. No illegal activities inside or outside the club. Certified security. That doesn't mean you can go get someone from my cousin, brother, sister, cousin. You can't get them. You got to have somebody that's certified, that's able to make an arrest, that's able to de-escalate or stop. And they cost money. So if you don't have the money, I wouldn't even open, because they do cost money to have it. So that security needs to be inside and outside the parking lot. And I would say a probation period of 1 year with no major incidents, including aggravated assaults, murder, brawl. I mean, people are gonna call for small stuff like their cars get broken into. Can't do anything about that sometimes unless you got security on the outside. But that would be my recommendation, and I don't know how that goes. I'm looking at Duke.
I would take all of those recommendations which are in the minutes as conditions to the motion. So that would be an amendment, a friendly amendment to the motion. To your approval will be conditioned. Your approval will be based upon those conditions being met that you just articulated. Is that correct? Would the maker of the motion accept those conditions as an amendment? Is there any objection to that amendment? Can we go forward with debate based upon that being an amendment? Okay, thank you.
Are we ready to take a vote? Okay. We'll start with a roll call vote. Commissioner, Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen, how do you vote? Commissioner Bronson, how do you vote? Yes. Commissioner Stewart, how do you vote? Yes. Commissioner Hewitt, how do you vote? Yes. Commissioner Wilder, how do you vote? No. Commissioner Howard, how do you vote? No. Commissioner Cato, how do you vote? Yes. Commissioner Bailey, how do you vote? I vote yes with stipulations. What's the vote? 5-3 carries. 5-3, it carries with the new requirements. Okay. Correct. Thank you. Yes, sir.
And I assure you, we'll operate in accordance with the stipulations and look forward to getting those to sign.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our pre-commission meeting. We're going to take a 5-minute recess just so we can reset here, and then we'll be back in session at 6:20.
Call the meeting to order on Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026, at about 6:22 p.m. Thank you all for being here, first of all. Got a big crowd here. That's wonderful. All right, the first order of business, of course, is the prayer, and I think we're asking Barbara Griggs. I think you've been with us before, Hope for the Heart of Georgia. Would you please come forward? Is she here? Oh, I don't see her here. Okay. Raymond Wilder, our Commissioner Raymond Wilder. If you can or wish to, please stand for the prayer. Thank you.
Dear Lord, we come to you tonight, just asking you to be with us in this meeting. We thank you for our health and our strength to be here tonight to conduct business for Macon-Bibb County. We ask you, Lord, to enter this meeting with us and be in our minds and be in our hearts and help us do things the way you would want us to do them. We just ask you for safety and everything for all of our constituents all over Bibb County. And we just thank you for everything and as we move forward. In Jesus' wonderful name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, presentations. Okay. All right. No public comment. Okay. All right, our next order of business happens to be presentations, and we have Dr. Keith Moffitt that will be doing that for us. A proclamation honoring Tashwan Poole, who is the first student at Howard High School's named All-American. That's a great thing, and I hope you're all here for that, right? Okay. That's the first round of applause. You'll get another one after this proclamation.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Unfortunately, Mayor Miller is a little under the weather, so he asked me to stand in for him. And I'm very proud to do this because I do know the family. I do not know Mr. Poole directly, but I do know he comes from a very awesome family. And so I'm just very grateful to take part in this presentation. He's been recognized as an All-American. And I'll be honest, I really had to look up the true definition of All-American to make sure that we all understand the foundation of what it is. And it simply says, being a high school football All-American means a player that has been recognized as one of the best high school football players in the country. So with that being said, Mr. Poole, will you please join me?
Come on, let's go. Come on. Woo-hoo!
This is the first of many, sir. First of many. If you would stand right here, sir. Whereas Tashwan Poole is a distinguished multi-sport student athlete from Macon, Georgia, recognized as a premier high school football prospect in the class of 2027, and currently attends Howard High School, where he has made history as the school's first ever All-American football player, earning national distinction as the program's inaugural honoree of this magnitude. And whereas standing 6'2", 185 pounds, Mr. Poole has demonstrated exceptional athletic versatility and excellence as both a free safety and wide receiver, earning praise from his sideline to sideline coverage, high football IQ, vocal leadership, and an elite competitive discipline. Whereas in late 2025, Mr. Poole received an official invitation to compete in the Under Armour Next All-American Game, a milestone achievement that brought honor to his school, family, and the entire Macon-Bibb community. Whereas his athletic achievements extend beyond football to include varsity basketball competition as a guard during his freshman and sophomore years, and all-city honor in track and field for the 100-meter and 400-meter dash in 2025, marking him as one of Macon's top emerging sprinters. And whereas by early 2026, Mr. Poole earned scholarship offers from multiple prestigious Power 4 collegiate football programs, including the University of Georgia, Ohio State University, University of Tennessee, Florida State University, and the University of Michigan, reflecting both his athletic talent and academic promise. Whereas Mr. Pooh's passion for sports began at age 5, and his leadership now inspires teammates, classmates, and younger athletes as he continues to represent Macon with integrity, humility, resilience, and excellence. Now, therefore, on behalf of Lester M. Miller, Mayor of Macon, we do hereby proclaim February 17th, 2026 as Tayshaun Poole Day in Macon-Bibb County, and urge all citizens to recognize him for his historic achievements, leadership, and representation for our community on the national stage, and encourage all citizens to celebrate his commitment to excellence, character, and service as a model for our youth. Congratulations, sir.
But there's no public comment, she said. Well, she said this, yeah. Yeah, there won't be room if all these people come.
No, just at the end, and it's just the same people. So she's going to do Wade Horton first, and then she's going to do. Elaine didn't fill in anything. She's here. I know she is. She must be. She didn't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. That's, yeah, that's not a battle you need to fight.
Commissioners, we'll get y'all in the second shot. We'll get y'all in the second shot.
Or I think, commissioners, if y'all stand where you normally sit, if you go around and stand there, I can see.
Oh, I don't want to be in that.
But just scoot in a little bit more.
She wants to scoot in. She wants to scoot in. Mayor Pro Tem? Doing all right, bro?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna move this chair back to her 'cause she's a little shorter than the norm.
Come on, girl. Get up here.
This mic goes.
Sorry, thanks for your patience. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it. Yes, absolutely. Do we need that movement? Yes.
Scoot.
Really?
Scoot. Scoot out of the way.
Landon Justice, that's Larry Justice's grandson. He was sitting over in that corner seat while I heard him.
That's Larry Justice's son,
It's
grandson.
Larry Justice's grandson, Dr. Ellen Justice's son.
Your vote counts, and Brenda wants to go and vote with us.
Oh.
Your
Okay.
vote counts.
I can count it? Okay.
I'm gonna do my politicking when I have to.
Okay. Should give him enough time. We got plenty of time, right? Okay, plenty of time.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. I'd like to go down there and have my picture made with him.
No, I think.
Should I? Go down there and have a picture made with him?
If you want to.
Yeah, I think I will. So this is the only, we got two. Oh, God. Should I go ahead and start it? Should I go ahead and start it? Come on now, I wasn't gonna be ugly about it.
Power. She's already got power.
They told me to hit it hard. Well, there's,
Go ahead and say come.
let me get that. Yeah.
This is probably the highlight.
Oh, God, yeah. It's a big deal.
The biggest problem sometimes though, is it doesn't work out. They don't have anything to fall back on.
That's true. All right. Let me just say something to this young man. Is that your son? Tell Mr. Poole, not only are we so proud of you, but as a female mayor pro tem, I can say you're a good-looking guy. Okay. I'm not going to chase after him or anything. All right. Okay, folks. All right, folks. We need to go ahead and start with the meeting. Start meeting back. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. All right, folks that are left here, we have no public comments on agenda items, so we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is approval of minutes from the meeting of February the 3rd, 2026. Do I hear a motion to approve? Do I hear a second? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed by like sign? The minutes are approved. All right, the next order of business are the consent items on the consent agenda, and actually have items A through F, but we're going to vote on items A through E to start with, and we're going to vote on item F by itself. So all those in favor of the items A through E? I'm sorry. Yes, that does help. Make a motion. Do I hear a motion to approve A through E? Second? Do I hear a second? Okay. Any comments on those? If not, do I hear now we can vote on this. Bear with me, folks. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed by like sign? The motion carries. All right, item number F is the final recommendation on committee of the Holes Alcohol License Denial Recommendation for Lanita Hunt, owner of 478 Lounge. Stanley? Okay, wait, Stanley. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the license for Ms. Lanita Hunt with the aforementioned stipulations.
This is a roll call again?
Yes, sir.
All right, do I have a second to that motion? Do you hear a second to that motion? Okay. All right. Any discussion, any further discussion? I think we have one right down here.
Okay, so we're re-voting on this?
Yes. Yes.
You got to vote
Okay.
twice, yeah.
Okay. All right, I was confused.
Any other discussion? No. All right, are you ready to vote then? All right, roll call vote. We're going to start on this end down here. We're going to start on this end down here. No. Don't have to.
No, I don't have to be.
All right, Mr. Paul? Yes.
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Joey?
I just want to find out about the stipulation part on this before I vote. You have a parliamentary inquiry about that?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so the stipulations that attaches to this
motion, if passed, would go into the written document that will be prepared by the county attorney's office for review by the applicant and their attorney. Is that correct?
They would automatically be in effect. They don't have to be reviewed.
Okay, and if they rejected it or didn't follow it, then it would automatically be non-compliant with this approval.
It would be non-compliant, but it would have to come back before us for another hearing.
Right, but that would be a basis for revocation.
It would be.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it does.
So your vote on that, please.
I'm gonna deny it.
Okay. Raymond? Oh, I will deny also. Sure.
How long would the stipulations be in place?
Part of the stipulation, it'll be forever. I mean, it could be if they violated,
Sorry.
the condition of issuing the alcohol license would be based upon the stipulations that Commissioner Bryant articulated and was made a part of the motion. If they violated one tomorrow, it would be a basis of revocation. And I think one of the stipulations would be, under any set of circumstances, we review this in a year and to see if they were complying with what they said they were going to do. But if they violated it tomorrow, or a week from now, or a month from now, that would be a basis to bring it back before a hearing for a revocation. Does that?
Yes, Attorney.
Okay. So it's your vote one way or the other.
Ms. Bailey?
No,
There's a no. She said no.
no.
All right. What is the vote, please?
3 to 5.
3 to 5. That motion does fail, so that is denied.
Okay.
Thank you.
Procedurally, there has to be a affirmative vote on either approval or an affirmative vote on denial. So the approval vote has taken place. Is there an do I have a vote to deny? A motion, sorry. All right. Now, any discussion on the motion to deny? Yeah, that's a discussion on my part, yes. Yes.
I would like to know, always in the front of people, I was in front of the Senate, as to why I voted as I did and why I vote as I do on different things. So I think those of you who flipped your vote owe an explanation to fellow Maconites as to why you flipped your vote, because it comes with the stipulations now, which is what I thought you all wanted. So tell the Maconites why you flipped your vote.
On my vote, as I said earlier, lives are more important, and we must be aggressive in how we handle the situation when the owners do not follow through. In this case, if the owners fail to follow through, then we'll be back again when someone else is shot or when someone else is hurt. We're talking about somebody's father, somebody's mother, somebody's child. And this is something that has made me flip my vote. Initially, my vote was yes, understanding the stipulations, but then after knowing the time restraint thereof, no. We cannot do that as business owners. As business owners, we owe our citizens a safe place, safe places to dine, safe places to be entertained. And we know those laws before we go into business. It's not a might know, we know those laws. It has been written down for us, it is well understood. In this case, the owners failed to do that, failed to uphold their end of it. I do understand that there were outstanding mitigating circumstances in which she could not control what someone else has done, but based on what she did not do was to aid us, our citizens, in being safe, and she elected to do that. That is a conscious thought. She elected to not do the things that she needed to do with those cameras. We cannot have that in the city of Macon. We've got to begin to be responsible with our citizens. We must begin to show them that we will do all that we can do to make sure that they are safe. We cannot lose any more of our children. We cannot lose any more of our fathers or our mothers. And this is the beginning of getting it right. So we've got that responsibility to start here. I cannot have that blood on my hand. No, I won't do it.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have your...
Am I on?
The reason that I changed mine was, first of all, I didn't really pay attention to the part about the licensing part getting renewed, taking it first. And the second is with the stipulations, I don't know who's gonna govern this situation, the stipulations, and I'm afraid that something might get passed for the communities.
Thank you. And Commissioner Bryant.
The stipulations would be governed by Bibb County Sheriff's Department, because if you get a call there, you can always pull up their address and see how many calls of service that they've had at that place. But my concern is that we voted while they were here, and they left out of here thinking that we voted in favor, and then they're gone, and now somebody got to call and tell them that they didn't get the vote. And my thing is when these stipulations were being said, like Attorney Duke said, that if it happens tomorrow and they violate it, then they come back and then we can say that we denied. And I thought everybody understood that those were some of the things that were going to be asked of them. And as far as, and this is just me saying, as far as people blood on your hand, I'm never going to take that unless it happens at my residence. But people go to, and it's illegal, they go to bootlegs all the time. That's illegal. They gamble, they get shot. People, that may be where they are at that time. So I'm not going to say that this lady has caused that, but I will say that she has to be more particular at how she handles her business, how she does her business. And I just think that we should have let them know. And I don't know if the former Mayor Rickard knew that we were going to vote on this again. So that would be my only thing, is that before they left, we should have talked to them and said, hey, we're going to have to re-vote on this. That's all.
Thank you.
Meeting as well as pre-commission.
Okay.
I hear that? What?
All right.
Wait a minute. Bill,
We're going to do a roll call vote, and we're going to...
we have Commissioner Howell. I'm just going to call for questions. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Howell. All right, we are going to start on your end,
You
Commissioner.
don't want to be recognized. Yeah, you got Commissioner Bronson.
Oh,
Sorry.
you came in late, Commissioner Bronson. Yeah. Well,
It's okay. Hey.
There we go.
you're on.
Nope. There we go. Hey. So let's just to make sure, right? Because this is what's concerning to me. going kind of how what Commissioner Brown was saying basically is that we vote on things and then people will leave out knowing or feeling that, hey, I got an opportunity to make it right, right? And then now someone has to make the phone call and say, hey, we know we voted on it for you to have it, but we changed our minds. That is the wrong way of doing business across the board. If you voted no, fine, I get it, cool. You voted no, you stuck with it, and you have your reasons if you change your vote, right? That's respectful. I get that. But I think at a certain point, guys, we have to do a better job of making sure that we're getting the information out, as well as getting information in, right? Business owner came before us, did the right process, did her due diligence, and represented the way she's supposed to represent, the proper way. It should have been only right to give her that opportunity. And I tell you, you know me, I was already in the bag. You know where I stood before that. So my thought process shifted, hearing the stipulation piece that was brought about, hearing the factors of that she took responsibility and said, hey, here goes my license. Before you come and take it, I'm going to give you my license. I'm going to give this up for the next 2 or 3 years so that way I can make sure that I am in compliance with you guys. Came before us in compliance, and somehow, some way, it's voted down. It doesn't matter what business or establishment we're dealing with. There's an issue across the board in Middle Georgia, in Macon, Georgia. And it's our job to make sure that we are approaching it the best way possible. When we say, hey, we're going to close down an establishment, guess what you just did? You just removed another space for anybody to get out and do or hang out or whatever it may be, right? So if it's more police officers, let's get with the sheriff and figure that piece out, right? If it's responding like they need to respond, cool. Everyone has to know that we play a vital role when it all boils down to, and it's important that we're pushing that message out there. We want business owners to come in and feel safe. We want citizens to come in and feel safe. How are we doing that? If we're going to hold accountable, we're going to hold the business owner that came in accountable. We need to hold all the business owners accountable to the same level. So if something happens downtown, are we going to just shut them down, or is that just my thought process of how we're going to operate from moving forward? We have to put together some type of standard code that says, hey, if you don't have these things in order, get them in order, take out 6 months, get your things in order, and then come back and have all the business owners go back through this checklist to make sure that we don't miss this step again. Because we heard earlier, she did not know certain things. And I get it. As a business owner, you're supposed to know these things, right? I'm fully aware, I'm fully on the same page with you. But for business owners that are coming into the city of Macon, they should know, hey, this is how we operate. And right now, that vote we just did, that was not good. That was not good at all. Not from a business standpoint, not from an elected official standpoint. We are better than that. And I encourage you guys, do some soul searching, and let's make it right the next time around, okay? Can we do that? Take some head nods. Thank you. Got you. Cool. God bless. That's all I got, Mayor Pro Tem.
Commissioner Howell.
Yeah, just as a point of order here, and I understand what you're saying. They left here thinking one thing, now they're going to get news other. However, we have to remember that the pre-commission meeting is a committee meeting. And with everything, it takes we got to vote on it twice. So anybody that comes to the pre-commission meeting and doesn't hear it all the way through, that's not on us, that's on the petitioner. I understand what you say completely, but I'm just saying we have to vote on everything twice. And this is a good example of why we have to do that. But it's on the petitioner if they're not here when they're here the final vote, because the pre-commission is not the final, let's say.
And just for clarification to make sure, because I want to understand that too, but my understanding, Mr. McNeil, since you're the drafter of the procedure for alcohol license, is the applicant and his attorney were told the procedure, including the fact that we had to vote twice?
Right. So by code, the applicant and their attorney, they had a right to speak for 10 minutes at pre-commission. They had a right to speak for 5 minutes at this meeting, and they were informed of that last week. And so I'm not trying to influence the substance of the vote one way or another, but I just feel like the procedure needed clarification, that they were given notice that they had a chance to speak at this meeting for up to 5 minutes, again, to address the issue.
Thank you, Attorney McNeil. Commissioner Bailey.
Mayor Pro Tem, when is that business owner coming back for review.
Presley? Sorry. One more time.
Don't want you to talk.
If I could figure out these microphones, I'd be a rich man. So presently before, just so everybody's on the same page about where we are, presently before the body is a motion to deny the applicant's alcohol license, period. If that gets 5 votes, then the alcohol license presently pending is denied. Now, procedurally, my understanding is that if it's denied today, and correct me, Mr. McNeil, that the applicant would be able to reapply, is that correct? Tomorrow, immediately, for another run at this. So nothing if you deny on this vote, it does not keep her from reapplying, or the owner from reapplying. So that's the motion before you. There's no conditions because you voted down the motion to approve with conditions. So this is a motion to deny the alcohol license. If this motion passes, she is denied as of today, but she can reapply tomorrow, and she can come back before the commission to try to get her license. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But does she have a legal recourse?
It would be to reapply and come back here.
But she can't, I mean,
I can't get, it's up to her attorney to tell her what she can do, yeah.
that's my point.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bryant.
Matt Pro
So,
Tem,
I have a-
I'll tell you what, I think that I was the tiebreaker in this particular decision, and without putting pride or me or anything first, I feel that Commissioner Bronson, you did have a valid point about the first time, and of course, we had to go ahead the second time, and I did change my mind. However, the participants, they are not here. Yes, they should have been here, but I definitely want the decision that we come up with to be one that we all can stand on, and I definitely don't want it fractured. So please allow me to retract that, and I do publicly retract that. Yes, I do have very strong feelings in this retraction, and I will hold on to that, but I will go ahead and I will retract that.
So that's out of, you cannot retract your vote from a previous motion. What you can do is delay the vote on this motion with a motion to table or a motion to postpone to another meeting.
I motion to table to another meeting.
Okay. That is a superseding motion. It was without debate. Do I hear a second? Second. All right, then there's just a straight up vote.
All right. All those in favor of the denial, please say aye.
No. All the, tabling.
I'm
Tabling.
sorry, tabling.
Yep.
Please say aye. Sorry about that.
Can we do a roll call on that just so
Yeah.
I can keep it straight?
Yeah, let me start with you.
Mayor Pro Tem is the tiebreaker in this situation. So I don't want you to walk through it thinking that that was the case.
Okay, there's no debate on the motion to
No,
table.
there's
You
no
either,
debate.
yep. Okay.
Commissioner Stewart? Commissioner Hewlett? Oh, no? She's abstaining. She's
Table.
abstaining, so that, does that count?
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Motion for table carries. The motion is tabled. We can bring it up for another round of discussion at the next meeting. And with the notice to the applicant and their attorney, which is what I'm hearing you say, with the notice to the applicant and the attorney to be here for a full discussion. Is that accurate? Okay.
Commissioner Bryant?
I just had one question. How much is it when they apply for a liquor license, alcohol license? Each time they apply, how much is it?
I'm now out of my depth, so.
Okay.
I think Attorney McNeil may know that.
Commissioner Bryan, it depends a little bit on what types of alcohol they want to sell. For beer, consumed on premises is $700 a year. For wine consumed on premises is $800 a year. And for spirits consumed on premises, I believe is $2,700 a year. And then there's a $300 application fee on top of that. So it's about $4,500 total.
How much?
$4,500.
So if we denied today, with that, if she came back tomorrow, I'm sorry, if she came back tomorrow, would she have to pay $4,500 every time she came back, or is that a one-time deal?
The license fees are non-refundable. It's not contingent on the outcome of the application. So if it's denied, then there's no refund.
It's tabled. It's tabled.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? This has gone a long ways. There's no more discussion we can have. All right, that concludes that particular vote. Thank goodness. Put a hard one on me on the first time. All right, the only item left we have are public comments on non-agenda items, and we have two speakers.